Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video, where we attempted to find an abandoned mine in the New Territories. Last week, my buddy Sean reminded me that we hadn't been hiking in a really long time, so I started planning a potential route. Now, I always want my hikes to have an exploratory purpose, otherwise we wouldn't be an expeditionary force. I headed over to gulo.com, which is kind of like the Wikipedia of Hong Kong history. One of their best assets is a map where users can post the locations of their discoveries. As I'd already taken Sean into the Shingmun Redoubt, the network of British tunnels and pillboxes meant to defend Hong Kong from the Japanese, I thought it would be nice to revisit the area. I noticed a marker on the map, standing all by its lonesome. When I clicked on it, it took me to a page about a tungsten mine. See, the Jubilee Reservoir was a massive engineering project in the 1930s for Hong Kong, where the population had quickly outstripped the natural water supply. One of the engineers was apparently spending his lunch break panning for minerals in the stream, as one does, when he noticed the accumulation of an ore called wolframite. Now, wolframite is where we get tungsten, a metal with a wide range of industrial and military applications. Mining began in 1938, was interrupted by the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong, and continued on and off until 1967, when the rising cost of labor and falling tungsten prices made it unprofitable. The mine was then abandoned, with more than 300,000 tons of ore still hidden in the depths. So I thought, hey, let's try and find an abandoned mine. We started from the main dam of the Jubilee Reservoir, this time heading northeast along the McElhose Trail. Government maps showed a collection of ruins in the area. The buildings first appeared on maps in the 1950s, and this aerial view from 1963 shows a rather impressive group of buildings. However, by 1970, they are marked as ruin on the Lands Department maps, which leads me to believe that they were connected with the mining operations. From the air, it is now nearly impossible to tell that there were any buildings here at all. Down on the ground, though, several walls and foundation works are still standing. In places, we found corrugated material that was probably the roof, though the interior has had so much sediment build up that a lot of vegetation has taken root. This was the front entrance to one of the buildings. I think it's kind of fancy. We found these artifacts in a pile on the ground. This is an electrical connector of some kind, while this one is an old-fashioned electrical insulator. Other general detritus at this site included Takara beer bottles. Takara started out as a sake brewing company in Japan in 1842, and in 1957 entered the beer business, which didn't really work out, and in 1967 they withdrew from the beer market. That means these bottles must have been produced during those 10 years, making them potentially more than half a century old. I guess mining was thirsty work. On the western edge of the building site, we noticed a tunnel with some collapsed concrete around it. According to the geology map, there were no official entrances to the mine near here, which meant it was either a wartime Japanese tunnel or part of an illegal mining operation after official licensed works had ceased. Although a lot of the entrance was blocked by sediment and a really annoying fuzzy plant that stung a lot when it brushed against some bare skin, I was able to get inside. Now, I only did this because my buddy Sean was right there. I highly advise that you don't enter random tunnels on a mountain famous for abandoned mining operations. With that said, I went further into the tunnel. I had to stoop over a bit, but it was a lot better dug out than the Japanese tunnels I've been into, so I guessed it was more related to mining activities. Here's the part where my heart started pounding, because after about 3 meters, there was a slight turn and then a sudden drop of about 2 meters. I knew that if I fell in there, there was no way I'd be able to get out on my own. Now, I did have some rope in my backpack, but I really didn't want to make the evening news, so I did a quick survey and then went out to tell Sean that I wasn't dead. From what I can tell, there's another tunnel underneath, accessed via the drop-off. A bamboo ladder would have been enough to reach the bottom of the pit, and the narrowness of the entrance tunnel makes me pretty sure that this was an unlicensed operation after the mine had closed. After climbing out of the tunnel, it was time for us to continue our journey down the path marked on the map. Our goal was to find Adit 8, which a geology team in 1991 had used to enter the mine itself. Along the way, we found several entrances to other illegal mines, most of which were surrounded by piles of broken rock and spoil or flooded with water and draining into the surrounding jungle. Every now and then, we came across areas where water had been channeled to drain the tunnels of water and where parts of the hill had been worked away to get at the ore. Although we didn't see anyone else on the trail that day, we did find evidence of other hikers. As we sat down to rest in this area, we noticed quite a few milky quartz stones scattered along the stream bed. Maybe they were dislodged during the mining process, or the recent rains had made them tumble halfway down the mountain. After getting lost on a stream bed for a while, that would be my fault, we noticed some water control structures and decided to follow a disused drainage channel. Now, what greeted us around the corner was quite a sight. Adit 3, one of the entrances to the mine. An adit is a horizontal tunnel used to access the ore deposits and deeper workings within a mine, and it also helps to drain and ventilate the interior. Now, of course, this can only be built when the mine is inside a mountain. The cool air flowing out of the adit provided a welcome relief, and we sat down to rest here for a bit. The site is quite big and must be visited by somebody, hence the nice portable tent shelter. With the water coming out of the adit, this would make a pretty good camping site. Soon enough, it was time to pack up and continue down the trail, where we made quite a few wrong turns trying to find Adit 8. But hey, at least we discovered a cool dam. The water appears to be diverted towards a water supplies department catchwater instead of its original course for the mine, I think. It was getting hot, and we were pretty tired, but we knew we had to be close to Adit 8. According to the 1991 map, it was just off the trail we were on and above a service road. This big pile of spoil had to have come from somewhere above us, but we couldn't find a way up, just more water channels and abandoned equipment. Eventually, we found this metal frame lying near the stream, and some old drink cans. We deduced that if the mine were closing, the last workers would probably just throw derelict equipment off the nearest hillock, so the entrance had to be directly above us. We started grabbing roots and vines to haul ourselves up, and that's where we found our goal, the lower entrance to the mine, Adit 8. Now, compared to the 1991 picture, someone has certainly worked some of the stones in the mortar loose, and it's big enough for anyone to enter, should they wish. Which nobody should. It's hard to believe, but no mere breeze was blowing from the depths of the abandoned Needle Hill Tungsten Mine. This was a chill wind. While wonderfully cool, it was also strong enough to force us back slightly. If the entrance had been sealed up like Adit 3, perhaps these bars were originally set in the concrete. On the wall, I noticed this warning sign with the logo of Dragage Hong Kong, a company with origins in Vietnam as the Société Française Industrielle d'Extrême Orient. So someone must be sent up here from time to time to check up on the mine's stability, especially as the lowest levels of the probably flooded mine are just 5 meters above the Xingmun tunnels, a major highway linking Chunwan and Shatin. So there we have it. Except for the telltale rock spoil, there's nothing here that would make you think you're actually looking at a massive abandoned tungsten mine with over 300,000 tons of workable ore, next to the calm waters of the lower Xingmun Reservoir. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you live in Hong Kong, always keep your eyes open when you're out and about. After all, you never know what you might find. If you'd like to go exploring yourself, check out these websites for wonderful resources.